Welcome back to Rocket League here at the Gfinity Arena. Do our analysts predict an XL upset after the fighting talk from Niels Cook suggesting Magnus does not speak complete English sentences? He's from Finland. It's not his first language. Come on, great fighting talk from the Dutchman.
I was speaking to XL backstage and I said to them, more trash talk.
Yeah.
I said more, not that much. That was a thing that happened.
It was. We all witnessed it. It was beautiful. But will XL, based on the back of that, get the win today?
No.
Okay, thanks, Johnny boy.
We've seen this before. Niels had the trash talk for Remco last week, and then they got swept, and now they've got the trash talk for Magnus, and I think they might get swept again, honestly. I love the trash talk, though. I hope that continues. It's good to see the confidence, even if they can't quite back it up yet. Hold on, maybe they can. We'll wait and see. I don't think so, though.
Okay, that is a bold and an honest prediction from you, Johnny boy. I wouldn't say bold, just very honest. I like that. And what about yourself, Shogun?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go the exact same way. Method are a team that are great at team plays, using that midfield. XL are a team that are very good at letting teams use that midfield and pulling themselves all the way back to their own net. I feel like just styles-wise, they are at a disadvantage. Method probably going to take this.
Okay, brilliant. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing Lou Nation, Niels Cook, and I'm going to decide to call him Census Nation from now on. Why not? Throwing over to the casters, Greg and Onset, how are you seeing this one going?
I'll ask you first, mate. What are you thinking about this match?
It's going to be a close one. But Method will win thoroughly, as we expect. But I expect to see XL get a goal every game. That's going to be my prediction here. 3-0, but a goal every game.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going with the 3-0 to Method as well. I think these guys, I mean, sorry to be predictable and boring, but, you know, there's a reason for it. These guys have looked strong every single week, almost robotic, as we saw from Magnus there at the start. But I'm looking forward to seeing XL play as well. I want to see Niels Cook back up some of this trash talk we've heard. He didn't come off too well last week against Remco, but he did have to say something first. I think he got the last word in there, though.
Yeah, Niels is actually a very good player, and I don't think people quite appreciate that. Just because of his speaking on stage there, he does seem like he's just a player with all talk, no play. But if he gets set up for shots, then we might see a few goals from him. And Zenzus has a lot of experience with him, so I hope to see that. And Lunation has been trying to improve every week. I know it's going to be tough for XL, but I just want to see them score.
Yeah, the interesting thing from XL is they're actually the lowest scoring team in the tournament at the moment, which isn't a stat you really want related to. You know, it's a difficult one, and it's going to be up to them to start converting some goals and making some things happen for them and getting that ball in the back of the net, as we see game number 1 loading up in the background. How do you think XL have to approach this one?
They just need to accept that they are the underdogs here, and they've got to put everything into it as we see the game starting off. Watch out for the Method aggression. It happens every single match, and I'm sure they're not going to hold off against this XL team.
Well, it is going to be XL in the blue, and it's going to be Method in the orange for this match. And it looks like the early pressure is going to be actually coming in from XL here, but a lot going to get the clear away, but that ball is still hovering around the goal. The demo does come in. Finally, it looks like Magnus is going to get that one clear. The pass downfield, but he's actually going to collect that one himself and push it around the corner. Magnus doing all sorts of work here. His teammates in position to try and finish that one off, but here comes a lot. Cannot convert the first chance there for Method.
Yeah, the early stage of every game is to test what their defense is capable of, see what their habits are. And you notice there, Magnus just pushed it across the whole of the net, and there wasn't an answer at all from XL, so they will be able to boost starve them with that. Go from corner to corner, take those back boosts, and open up the goal.
Well, this could be the first goal, and it's going to be a long-range effort coming in from Metsonoris. Player we haven't talked too much about. It's all been about Magnus and his goal-scoring ability, but the long clear upfield, nobody back for XL. A mistake on their end, Gregan. And against a team like Method, you cannot make those mistakes early on.
Yeah, XL just passing it into the middle, intercepted by Metsonoris, and his team were being super aggressive at that stage, expecting every touch to be in their favor. And all it takes is one missed pass to give possession away, and those quick counter plays do happen.
And they're looking for a second straight away, but Lunation gets the save at the last moment there. Method starting off hot here, exactly what we expected to see. Continuing their flow from the weeks previous. Sonora's going to be pushing this one towards the backboard. Is anyone going to be there? But no, it's going to be Lunation who does get the clear upfield. Very low on boost at the moment, though. Method still putting the pressure on, but it looks like they've rotated back now. Lunation going to have the chance to clear here, but literally zero boost here.
Oh, Niels, floor pinch. Almost getting it in there. You just don't know how much pace you can get on that ball with a floor pinch. It's one of those strategies that no one really plans for, but when you find yourself above the ball, just start soaring down towards it and create a lot of speed, squeezing it into the ground.
Finally, it's XL going to actually be putting some pressure on the Method side. Mesinoris does get the long clear, but for once, Excel actually have someone back here on the rotation to make sure that they don't concede another disappointing goal, but Zentus is going to be back here, does get the touch. Doesn't look too confident here. It's going to be two players challenging for this one. Nilskuk's going to have to clear this one away. Here comes Mesinoris. Is there anyone going to be there? There's going to be a lot there. Method, 2-0 up. 2 minutes 50 left on the clock.
All three of the XL lineup in that corner. All you got to do is wait in the middle as they push it away from that corner spot. And it was a lot who was looming and came in to finish that ball off. You've got to be so careful at getting close to each other against this Method team because they cover so much of the field. And if you're all restricted to one area, you're not going to get much boost. You're not going to have many routes out of defense.
Yeah, 2 XL mistakes at the moment. Contributing towards this scoreline that we have at the moment. 2-0 to Method. So we approach the 2.5-minute point in this match. It's going to be Magnus looking for more goals this week. Of course, Magnus has the second best goal to shot ratio in the Elite Series at the moment with 40%. He also has 9 assists, so he's been doing it all for his team.
Yeah, he's also got the most goals in the series so far with that 16 on the board, only matched by Doomsy of Infused. And I'm sure he will be trying to get more. And you've got to remember, though, he's had one less game because he wasn't here in that first week. So definitely the highest goals to game ratio.
He's back on the defensive here, does get the clear. It's going to be Zentus following this one up, though. Push towards midfield, but Lunation does come in and challenges that one high up the pitch. It's going to be up to Method to get this one clear. The long clear does come in. Zentus is going to be back, though. A lot going to be challenging this one once again. Wins that 50-50 ball, going to be pushed back into the middle. Mesinoris is arriving, but XL managed to keep them out. Nilskuk going to be pushing this one back in, but a lot is back again. Gets that long clear upfield once again.
Oh, that's a good shot into the middle by Lunation, but everything they send towards the net, there's someone waiting on this Method team. They rotate so fast, and that is scary to play against, because just when you think you've ground them down to the point where you've got an advantage going into attack, one of them returns from upfield at such a speed. And Method really looking tough to score against here. I did say I wanted 1 goal from XL. That's their challenge. If you can score against a team like Method, then that's a lot of hope going forward.
It does look like XL have started to grow into this game in the last minute or so. They seem to be challenging the ball a lot higher up the pitch and almost putting the pressure back onto Method. Not allowing them to play, not allowing them to create those chances that we saw early on. Always going to be in the corner at the moment. It's going to be 2 players from XL challenging that one, pushing it back towards the middle. Nilskuk is going to have a chance here to try and find a teammate. It's going to be Lunation, who's up, but no. Whiffs that one. And it's going to give the guys on Method once again the chance to clear. Demo does come in, and this could come back to bite them. As Magnus tries to find a lot, but a lot's going to give that one up.
Oh, it's a great touch. Just saw 2 players on the wall. Rather than sending it parallel to that wall, just hits it hard into it so it takes those players out of the game. That's the kind of game sense we're seeing from Method, recognizing the positioning of the opposition as they're trying to get it out of their half.
Oh, just 15 seconds left on the clock. The shot does come in, but the save does come in as well. So Method showing not only offensively they've been impressive in this match, but defensively definitely showing that they can hang with the best in the Elite Series. Just 5 seconds left. It looks like it's going to be Method who are going to take game number 1 in this series and just continuing this almost robotic push towards the top of the league. Magnus manages to get another one on the board there just to add to his tally. That's going to be 17 goals now for Magnus in the Elite Series.
Neil's just helping out Magnus with those stats. The ball, if it touched the ground there, that was the end of the game, but Neil said, nope. There you go, there's another one for the board. It doesn't matter in the stats book. A goal is a goal. Magnus gets another one to his name.
17 goals for Magnus so far in the Elite Series. I mean, that's just a mind-blowing stat. As you can see, it's a lot at the top of the leaderboard for Method here. But that was just another just convincing win for them. It's what we've seen week on week. Very few mistakes from them, taking advantage of any mistakes that teams like Excel are giving them, and just looking so solid as an all-round package.
Yeah, but this is probably the best performance I think we've seen from XL. They're looking to be rotating well. There's not many opportunities for Method to show off their skills that they've got. And that's important right now because XL have just not been as apparent in this series as we were hoping. Lunation coming in, having been a previous pro player, now he's joining Zenzus and Niels, who have been up there. They were in the most recent RLCS as Cownose. So we should expect to see a stronger performance from them, and they're finally starting to do that, as this is probably the best team in the tournament. They're playing against Method here, and they're keeping up with the speed.
Yeah, I was going to say Excel there towards the end of that game, sort of from the middle point, around the 2:30 mark. They gave as good as they got in that game, sorry. Just those 2 mistakes. I mean, we talk about Rocket League, how important not making mistakes is, as it is in any game, but if they can sort of keep their mistakes down, take their time a little bit more, they can really come back in this series.
Yeah, for sure. And it was the second half of that game that was so important because it's going to allow them to go in with momentum. And the most important thing for me is whether Niels can find those shots into the dangerous parts of the net, because they were firing shots towards the goal, but when there was a goalie there, and you need to try and draw them out with tougher saves, draw them out with backboard hits, draw them out with good passes. If they start bringing those into their arsenal, then we might see them get it past this strong Method lineup.
Well, game number 2 is getting underway. It was, of course, Method who took game number 1 in this best of 5, so they're going to have the advantage going into the second game. And it's going to be a great start, but no, Zensus manages to keep that one out. And Excel, that's going to be good for them. First game we saw, they conceded very, very early on, but they've managed to keep this one on an even kill with that first shot coming in. That'll give them a bit of confidence. Still tied up at 0. Excel definitely grew into that last game. If they can start off hot here, it's definitely going to give the confidence going into the rest of this series.
Yeah, we just saw Lunation lingering upfield a bit with no boost. When you're playing against the speed of Method, you need to just rotate back as soon as you can. Find boost as quickly as possible, because the more time you spend boostless, the more useless you become.
Niels going to bring this one down, looking for the dribble, but it's going to be Magnus once again, just putting the pressure on. Mesanoris is going to arrive, and you cannot take that much time against a team like Method. They will make you pay. We saw it there. Fantastic challenge coming in from Magnus, found that backboard, and Mesanoris was just sat waiting to gobble that one up, and there it is. Method, 1-0 up.
It's the speed coming out from Method, just flying in. Anytime the ball is static, they will hurl themselves at it, knowing that it's going to pop out. And because they're all so fast, wherever the ball does go, there is likely to be a Method player waiting, which there was in that case. So an early lead again for Method. And I think this XL team just need to find that pace to match out the fastest team in the Elite Series, that is Method.
Well, there could be another one here, but no, Niels Cook does manage to clear that one away.
Oh, what a pass!
What a pass! Is it going to be a goal? It is! It's Niels Cook who converts a fantastic move for Excel. That's exactly what we wanted to see from them, Gregan. What a play from Excel.
Zenza's just popping that one into the middle. You see the fast return from Method. They're looking to scramble back and try and save the potential redirect that Zenza's puts out. But no, he stops it, waits for his teammate Niels to come in and finish it off, shooting it pretty much an open net. That is such a good 1-2 play.
And that's the kind of opportunity they're going to have against a fast-paced team like Method. If they can catch them on the breakaway, they're going to have a chance to win this series. But no, just as I say that, a lot, but parity is restored. It's 2-1. Just as we're talking about Excel getting back into the game, we see the long clear coming in from Mesanoris. A bad touch there from that player in Excel, and it's going to be a lot just following that one up, making sure that he puts his team back in the lead.
Yeah, Mesanoris put that very high on the backboard, and unless someone is driving up that backboard to defend it, it becomes a very tough touch, and you often misplay it, as Zenzas did there, right into the middle, and a lot was the finisher, as a beautiful shot from Magnus. That is why he is the top scorer in this tournament.
Guess who? The man with the shooting wheels on his car. That's going to be 3-1 now to Method, as Magnus bagged himself the 18th goal of the Elite Series. I am definitely keeping count, by the way. I'm writing it down every single time. 18 goals for him, not in this game, in the Elite Series. Magnus showing once again, if you give him even a sniff of a chance, he's going to make you pay.
Because he hits it so hard. You saw there 120 kilometers an hour on the half volley into the top right corner. You can't get more perfect than that.
So Excel, after what was arguably the most impressive goal so far in this series, find themselves 3-1 down once again. Just can't get a break as we see the demo coming in there. It's going to be Magnus once again trying to find another goal, just wide with that one, however. Mesanoris going to be clearing this one upfield. Niels Cook redirecting that one. Lunation's going to be able to get that one clear, though.
Just look how boost-starved they always seem to be. We're always on board with one player who's searching around, scrambling for those little boosts on the floor. And then when they come up for an attack like that, they just haven't got the boost and speed and resources, not just to be able to get the ball, but to recover, because it takes longer to get back then.
And look at this, Magnus trying to find a teammate who is arriving again, but Excel
Mr. Boost
managed to stop that one. But as you say, Mr. Boost,
and a lot stole it.
He's stolen that. It's going to be very, very difficult here.
Missed another one.
To defend. Magnus does push this one back in. Niels Cook does get the touch, but Magnus is going to have another opportunity of goal. Here comes a lot, though. A lot going to make it 4-1 for Method. It's just looking so good, Gregan.
Everything you do when you have no boost is harder. And you can see there, every touch they're making just wasn't as hard as they wanted, wasn't as controlled as they wanted. And all that the Method team had to do was roll it across the goal line and finish it off. And it's such a long game in Rocket League that people don't realize. Take boost, grind down your opposition, and gaps will open up.
Guess who? Mognis is back on the scoreboard. The 19th goal of the Elite Series for him. 5-1. Are we going to see a Brazil here, Gregor?
So we spoke about the 1-2 earlier on, and then they just did it there, but a little bit higher, a little bit more dynamic. Up to a lot, high on the wall, sends it back down to Mognis, who crunches it top left corner. But I don't think so. To answer your question, I don't think so.
No, not today. We'll have to see. Excel 5-1 down at this point. It looks like it's going to be Method going up 2-0. They do get one back though. Zentus manages to get another goal for Excel here. As we can see it on the replay, played off the wall and follows his own touch up. A nice little goal there from Zentus, but nobody back there for Method. 3-goal deficit, 2 minutes left.
It's doable. There is potential, but the way Method are playing right now, it's going to be very tough for them. But at this point, XL have nothing to lose. They may as well go all-out aggression, because if it's 6-2 or 5-2, it doesn't really matter. But if they can start getting a few goals with over-aggressive play, then suddenly it's back in the question.
Zentus following this one up here. It's going to be challenged though by Mognis, as you can see. Metsonoris sitting back here, going to be looking for a clear. But XL once again putting the pressure on here. Mognis going to be getting it cleared. Zentus pushes that one back towards Zentus. Does manage to steal that boot as well, so there's going to be an opportunity here, but no one quite in position there for Excel to convert on that opportunity. Zentus now going to be back, and look at that. From one end to the other, Metsonoris puts another one in for Method. Excel coming so close to creating a chance of their own. Method making the defensive plays, going straight up the other end and converting their chances.
High on the backboard, Zentus doesn't like it up there. It's the second time they've done that, and he's just set them up perfectly. Perhaps they're utilising Zentus as the fourth member of the team to get those assists in. That's 2 assists for him. But this is what we expect to see every single game from Method. They will let a few goals in here and there because they are so aggressive. But their idea of play is not to win a game without conceding, but to win a game by scoring way more than your opposition.
We don't care how many you score, we will always score one more. And here comes Metsonoris, but a fantastic save coming in from Lunation, challenging that one at the last second. 6 goals on the board for Method here, a minute remaining. As you can see, Niels Cook not even having an opportunity there. We saw Mognis reading that one so beautifully. And once again, it's Method now on the offensive. Nation going to get this one clear. Mognis going to have to challenge this one and does push that one back upfield. Here's Mognis once again, but Niels Cook doing a good job defensively here. Metsonoris once again just putting the pressure on it. It's just almost relentless pressure at this point coming in from Method.
Every time that ball gets put towards the midfield, there is someone to meet it. And it's because they're stealing those mid boosts. The two that Shogun loves so much. The middle boosts are a key factor to how much you keep your opposition down in their own half. And it has not left the blue half. This might be their chance now as Niels puts that in the middle. Trying for the 1-2s, but there's just not enough space for them with Method looming every single time.
And there might be an opportunity for a lot here. He does miss that one, but Metsonoris is going to get a shot on, but Niels Cook is going to get that one away. 5 seconds left. It's going to be Method who are going to go up 2-0 in this series. And they're looking for the clean sweep at this point. 2-0 once again. Mognis, 8 shots on goal. The man is a machine.
He is indeed. And the first game, they each had a goal each. This game, they've each got 2 goals each. I wonder.
3 goals each? We calling it?
Maybe. I mean, that's a lot of goals.
Something cheeky? You want to put a little bit on it?
Yeah, let's put a little bit on it.
All right, I don't think they will, but you know, I mean, I'm not a good.
That would be a big out of nowhere bet if that was to come true. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Well,
the chances.
I think the chances of that happening are pretty slim.
But the chances of XL winning, probably a little bit more likely after scoring a few goals there. If they just sort out their defense a little bit more, stop giving away opportunities, then they know they can score now. But it's those opportunities where Mognis or Metza are just waiting. They see someone in a slightly off position, they hit the ball where they can't get it, and then it's a free shot for someone else.
Yeah, and we saw arguably the most impressive goal of that entire game and of the series coming from Excel. So they're showing that they can get it working. They can start clicking. It's just a case of consistency and making sure defensively they're a little bit more solid. We've seen a couple of touches from them which have essentially gifted the guys on Method goals, but as you can see, you're getting excited over there. Yeah. Big smile on your face. Some of the finishes we see from Mognis just so clinical.
Yeah, he finds the top corners naturally. He doesn't even have to think about it. He just sees a corner that's free, aims at it, it goes in, and if it doesn't go in, it's normally close enough that it'll keep pressure on. Our crowd are loving it today.
These guys are absolutely loving it. It's the first time I've heard a crowd getting excited for 30 seconds being left in a game. So shout outs to the guys up there. Absolutely loving your work. And on your screen, you could, of course, see the guys from Method. They're not getting carried away. They're just cool, calm, collected. Those guys are just here to win. That's all they want to do.
And each week they're getting better. In the same way we notice with Endpoint how they're improving, Method have been spending a lot of time together. They've been practicing in a local environment to each other. They've been practicing in London in preparation for this each week. So that's a huge opportunity for them, not just here at the Gfinity Elite Series, but going forward as a team in a LAN environment. It's huge practice.
Here we go then, Method with the chance to take this 3-0, almost get the first goal on the board within the first 10 seconds once again. They get out to such hot starts, Gregan. Is that something tactically, or is it just how these kickoffs seem to be working out for them?
Kickoffs are a huge part of the game that are underrated. In top teams, they start to work out what the opposition's style is.
Oh, Metsonoris once again finds a goal within the first 30 seconds for Method. They just start these games so hot. What a touch off the wall.
No way.
Follows it up. Fantastic mechanical play coming out from Metsonoris there.
Just chips it up off the wall, comes down to the ground, quickly finds himself in the middle and finishes it off. It's just so efficient, the route he takes there, and he knew he was doing it from the moment he touched it onto the backboard. But yeah, their kickoffs, they just know how XL are planning to take them, and they find the gaps. If they like to cheat up, then they'll probably make it spray out into the corners, because that way they have the boost, the control of the ball, and the control of the game.
Well, ball was played off the backboard here. It's once again XL who find themselves at a deficit within the first few moments of the game. They have an uphill battle ahead of them. It will have to be the reverse sweep if they want to win this series. Method just need to close this one out. It's going to be Nilscook pushing this up, but once again, the pressure just coming in from Method. We see every single ball, every single time that XL try and find a pass or something, it's always challenged by one of these Method players.
Yeah, and for them, that just puts the XL people on the back foot. You watch touches like that, they wouldn't be making those if they weren't expecting Method to be there almost instantly.
Yeah, and once again, we saw just stealing that midfield push, controlling those middle boosts. So vital. Shot does come in here, and we can see a lot of players back here, for example, they don't have any boost. It's going to be a lot. Once again, following one up, and just relentless pressure. It's almost stifling.
Yeah, two people going for that ball. A lot goes, okay, this is a chance for me to come in and poach that ball. And you see the accuracy there. Just at the last moment, getting around that ball, power shotting it towards the net, even though it wasn't a particularly fast shot, from that kind of angle, that's probably the fastest it's ever going to get.
So Method find themselves 2-0 up in this game. Of course, 2-0 up in the series. All the twos at the moment. XL have it all to do, of course. A lot going to be dropping on this one. Pushes it back upfield. Nobody really back here. But XL do manage to get this one cleared away. But Metsonoris, once again, look at this pressure, just relentless pressure coming in from Method. It just seems at the moment XL just kind of struggling to get any sort of control and even hold possession of the ball for more than a few touches.
1-2. Niels just goes for net. If he popped that down to Lunation in the perfect point, then that could have been a quick 1-2 play. They're so tough to read those, and that's the difference you have to make, because every touch has to be outplaying one of the Method players. You can't get away with those easy first touches, find a little bit of space, because space is not available.
Well, another attempt at a passing play there coming in from XL, but again, so well read by Method. Magnus is going to be up for this. He's going to get this one cleared towards the XL corner. I think a lot managed to get that middle boost once again, so that ball's going to go towards goal on the clearance, I believe that was. The demo does come in, so that's going to give XL a chance to get this one clear. Metsonoris is going to be lurking back here, as we see, once again, just collecting those boosts. He's going to be the man back here for the guys on Method. Clears it one away. Nilscook does push this one back in towards the middle, but it doesn't seem like anyone is there at the moment for XL to try and convert. A little bit scrappy, this attack here from XL. Method doing a good job of just stifling.
And the reason why it's a little bit scrappy is when you have a player challenging you so close, you limit your options of what you want to do. So if you're in position ready for a pass, that option might be taken away by the incoming challenge. So you then start after finding new locations and making interesting decisions which have been decided by your opposition and not by your own synergy.
Nilscook going to be pushing this one towards goal, but look at that. Two players flying back there for Method. It's going to be Metsonoris who does actually get the credit for that save. Ball going to be challenging the midfield, but once again, a lot Method who are pushing it towards goal. Lunation here, we can see it on our point of view. It's going to be XL who get that one clear, but once again, recycled here by Method, pushed back towards that XL half of the pitch. And it just seems at the moment a victory for XL is just getting the ball out of their half.
Yes, every time they do it. But Neil, the beautiful shot.
Magnus.
Just booming it in so fast. That's what he specializes in, but this is going to be a breakaway opportunity. Metsonoris, the net is free. He's just got to outplay the last players.
Doesn't manage to do it, but on the follow-up, that top corner, the crossbar, and in Magnus.
How does he do it?
Just disgusting when it comes to finishing.
How does he do it?
Incredible power, incredible direction, finds the crossbar, goes over the line. Pretty much finish this one off, in my opinion, for Method. They're 3-0 up, a minute to go. Magnus is just so good, man. It's as simple as that. The guy's a machine. 20 goals. Oh, I forgot. Sorry, thanks for reminding me.
No problem. No, but it's just the way he hits the crossbar, the corners, anything. That's going to be just a breakaway goal a lot. Sees the opportunities to get the ball. Everyone on XL is heading upfield. They need to get a goal. They know that's the case. Neil's trying for the fake plays, but a lot just charges towards that ball, doesn't give him time to get a fake opportunity, and sends it on a completely unchallenged net.
And again, it's not the first time we've seen it. So many challenges high up the pitch from Method. And they are 4-0 up at this point, just 50 seconds left. Excel looks like it's going to be another loss on the board for them in week number 5 of the Elite Series. Method going from strength to strength at this time. They're currently on a 2-win streak, and this will be the 3rd in a row, definitely pushing towards those playoff places.
Oh, that's very well played there. XL.
As I say, XL showing that they can play some Rocket League.
Yeah, just noticing that I think it was Magnus who was a little bit too far across the net. Niels put it on that near post, sending it out to the center where Zenzus was waiting. And it has been those two who've been getting the goals together. Lunation playing more of that third-man role, but when you're up against a team this stressful, every player needs to step up and find ways to score, because Method are just relentless. Everything they do is with aggression in mind.
Oh, how is that not going in the back of the net? I do not know. That ball rolled across the line. I thought XL were going to manage to get another one on the board, but even the luck seems to be with Method at the moment. Breakaway opportunity here a lot. Zenzus now going to be pushing this one back in, but can they get another consolation goal at this point? It doesn't really matter. Method look like they're going to take the series 3-0. Is it going to be a sweep? Is the ball going to touch the floor? Here comes a lot.
Oh, Zenzus.
I thought just for a moment we were going to see. It's still up though.
Oh, here we go.
Method going to get another one on the board.
Oh, are they going to put it in their own?
They put it in their own net. There we go. Lunation's going to be credited with that one, but it looks like the guys from Method are, of course, going to close this series out 3-0, Gregan. And they look like, in my opinion, one of the strongest teams.
They do, and Method and Infuse certainly sitting at the top there, giving a statement saying, we can play in this stadium. We want to be the best team in the competition. And they've got a pretty simple week this week. XL and Reason having to face off against those two giants. But it is Method here who prove time and time again that they can score so many goals. And it's Magnus the man with 20 so far in the series.
20 goals, man. 20 goals from Magnus. I don't know who's next close. I think Dean
Lindsay with 16.
16, so he's 4 ahead in week number 5 of the Elite Series. What a performance from him. And in my opinion, definitely the most clinical player we've seen in the Elite Series.
Yeah, certainly in terms of shooting. But he's got the advantage that he's got Metzer and a lot, who are both very good strikers of the ball themselves. We just see there a lot finding a crazy angle. A lot tends to be more of a setup man, same as Metzer. But in this case, all of them had a goal in every game, I believe. And it was just those shots from Magnus that were scary. Undefendable, you could say.
Yeah, you're quite right. It's so difficult to stop those shots with such power, especially with such placement as well. But we did see some flashes and some moments from Excel there. It just seems defensively is where they need to tighten up.
Yeah, for sure. And to have the toughest offense in the league this week as a chance for them to test out their defense, that's not fun. Be interesting to watch them later weeks. I'm not 100% sure who they're playing. I think they've got mid-table teams. They've got Endpoint, we mentioned that. And that could be a chance for them to really show up, because Endpoint aren't the most natural of teams to play against. So it'll be interesting whether they can pick up their way of scoring or whether they can defend against that.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult, though. You've got to be honest. Endpoint seem to be getting stronger and stronger. There's going to be the 4th loss, I believe, on the bounce for Excel. So their confidence is going to be low. They've got to try and get together. They've got to definitely get away this week, put in some hard work, because they're looking like they're slipping behind some of those other teams who are pushing towards the playoffs. But Method, I mean, is it too early to say they're going to be one of those teams in the semi-final and they're going to be pushing for that top spot?
For sure. I think they've been the one to watch ever since week 3 when they got natural at the LAN environment. It was a shock to them when they first went on stage up against Infused. And I think now, with this experience they've got, they're going to be looking to take out that strong Infused team and potentially win the series.
Now, let's talk a little bit more about Method just before I throw it back to the guys on the desk. Who do you think is the underrated player on that team? We talk a lot about Magnus, we talk a lot about some of the other players, but who do you think is the glue on that team?
It's hard to say because they all play a different role depending on the day. A lot is the one which is underrated because he creates opportunities that just wouldn't be available if any other player was playing in that role. He does those crazy touches off the wall, finds the middle. So I think he's the underrated player because he doesn't get the goals, he doesn't get the points. He does the boost starving, the demos, the flashy touches. So yeah, watch out for a lot.
And finally, Excel. What have they got to do next week? What have they got to do to get back on track in the Elite Series?
Save some goals.
Save some goals, as simple as that?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot you can work on to play against a team like Method, but when they're against a team like Endpoint, potentially they might be able to find a way to score.
Okay, now I'm going to ask for a prediction. It's a bit of an early prediction, right? We're getting into semi-final time. Looking at Method. Method or Infused or Envy at this point?
Method.
You're going with Method?
Yeah.
That's brave. It's brave, man. So you're really backing these guys.
I
What
do.
do you think? Why is that?
They're just quality. It's as simple as that. They're quality offense. And I'm sure Shogun and Johnny would love to talk more about how good they are at scoring goals. Tom, let's hear what they have to say.
Oh, thank you very much. Tell you what, gentlemen, thank you very much, Onset and Gregan. Listen, you heard Onset say flashes and moments of some strong play, but not quite enough for Excel. And next week, they are taking on Infuse. So, wow, up against it. But listen, great result for Method in the end.
Yes,
Yeah, well, Method are playing. That might be an easier match next week, which is not what you expect. Going from one team to Infused, you think it's got to get harder, but Method looking like the best team in the league with a performance like that.
I mean, they're going to be taking on Team Envious next week, all to play for. But how good was Magnus? How good was Metsonoris? How good was A-Lot? Well, you told us to watch out for him, Johnny Boy, and he got a couple of goals at the end.
Yeah, he did. He snuck a few in, but it was really just the Magnus show again. He's just so fast and he hits the ball so hard, nobody can deal with it. I don't know what you're supposed to do if you're up against someone who's playing at that pace. I guess go faster. We said that at the start of the series. We said go faster. Well, it wasn't fast enough for Niels Cock and the boys.
Yeah, the only way to do that is gobble up the boost. And what about your thoughts? The star man for Method today?
Magnus is just the best player in the league right now. Doomsy a little bit behind him, but Magnus, I can't fault him at this point in time. Every time he hits the ball, when he's in his opponent's half, I look at it and just go, that's a goal. Because he just hits it so cleanly. He's getting it at that top half of the goal where it's so difficult to save at the best of times. And every single time, he's getting so much power. How do you stop him right now?
Of course. Well, I want to ask his teammate to come down here, one of the winners, Metsonoris. Welcome him down to the panel. There he is! There he is! Kept us guessing. Come and join us. Here we go on the panel. Some people enjoying your haircut at the moment, Metsonoris. But let's talk about your play today. You happy with the victory today?
Yes, very happy.
Yeah, very happy. What was the best thing about your team's play today?
I mean, it was pretty much overall good play. They didn't really fight back.
Yeah, and were you expecting a bit more of a fight from them, or?
Well, I don't think we expected it, but.
And Niels Cook at the beginning gave Magnus a bit of a hard time, saying he doesn't complete any sentences in English, but yet the talking was done on the field, and Magnus was on fire today.
Yes, and Niels should probably focus more on improving in the game.
It's finally, we're getting it. Gentlemen, what did you see from Method's play that you would like to talk to?
What I'm actually seeing right now is you can actually get a little red mark where you can see the headphones have been on Metsonoris over here. I think that headphone might have done more damage to you than the whole of Excel did.
Wow, that is big talk. 4 goals, 4 assists, 6 saves. What was your strategy going into that match today? Did you have a particular tactic you were going to try and play against Excel?
We just wanted to play our own game, and we should be fine.
Okay. And what is the own game for Method?
We have the possession, and we're faster than the opponents.
Okay. And how does anybody compete with a team like Method with that speed, Johnny Boy?
It's going to be tricky, and we talked about this before, the speed and also just the quality of the hits. They're just getting that extra little bit of power on the shot is the difference between a goal and a save in lots of situations. And we saw that last week, we saw it again this week. I definitely want to hear from Mets. Do you think this is Magnus, yourself, and a lot? Are you in the clear now? Are you land boys? Because you struggled up until, well, the second week here, you lost to Infused. Before that, there was not really any land performances to be proud of. But is this a new method? And is this the method that we're going to see from here on?
Of course, we're getting better at LAN every week.
So
That's
the big
why we're here.
Big question right now, Infused. Do you take them next time?
We would destroy them.
Oh, I love it. Listen,
Put it there. I like that.
There's a fist bump there for everybody to see. Team Envious next week. Looking at that one, what are your thoughts on Envious so far? They're just above you in the table, but you've overtaken them so far today. They've yet to play. You've got those 10 points. Who's the sort of person to avoid when you take on Envious?
If they play with their main roster, of course, real Envious players, like any of those, if they sub in. But from the real roster, I don't know, they're pretty solid, everyone.
Okay, well listen, tell you what, Metsanores, solo LVT, have you come down? I'll say it in Finnish, kiitos. We will throw right now to Ariel, who is joined by Niels Cook. What's he saying, Ariel?
Well, me and Niels Cook are having a bit of a laugh because he's slagging off Metsanores saying that I'm surprised if he says any more than one word answers. He's saying that Niels Cook needs to improve. So it's all fighting talk still, even though you did essentially just lose.
Yeah, we did, but I mean, they're saying that I need to improve, but yeah, you know, the second game, I think Magnus had 10 shots and 2 goals. I had 0 shots and 1 goal. I mean...
See, this is what it's all about. I love it. You guys probably not going to make it to the playoffs now, but you're feeling good, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I just...
As good as you can be.
Yeah, it's just, I accepted that we can go to the playoffs, but doesn't mean I can't have fun here, so yeah.
The next 2 matches, just a little team called Infused. Do you think you can beat them?
Well, I mean, let's just see if we can get a game off of them, then I would be pretty proud. So let's just take it one step at a time. First try to score, and then maybe we'll see at the end if we have more points than them. Yeah, it's going to be tough though.
Thanks very much. I like that. One step at a time, but always, I like your positive vibes after losing a match. Well done, Niels Cook.
Yeah,
Thanks to you, Tom.
Cheers, Ariel. Some right cheeky people in the audience today. You can hear them, been singing away, cheering along. Quick question, though. Not really cheering, more of a whoop, whoop. Maybe they've sat down too quickly on their chair. Listen, I've got to ask, how do you score 1 goal without taking any shots? How is that physically possible with Niels Cook today?
Psionics, please. Fix the system. It sometimes does that. You know, you'll take a shot, and the shot itself is way off target, and then maybe it takes a deflection off an opponent, or you know, it might be just so close that it doesn't even have time to register as a shot in the game's API. Then bam, goal. But it's usually an own goal. You know, you hit the ball one way, takes a deflection off the opponent and goes in. You don't get accredited with a shot because really all you did is hit the ball the wrong direction, but it found the net, so you get the goal. Yeah. That's usually how it happens most of the time.
Well, it was another whitewash. I'm looking forward to maybe a bit more of a match in this one. Infused versus Reason. The raise of the eyebrow says everything. Listen, do not go anywhere because when we come back, it is all about Infused versus the bottom team, Reason.